So let's easily make this responsive. So let's open the responsive tab. It's going to be quite simple. Okay, we're going to start from the lower screen. Okay, so this is how it's going to look in the smaller screen. It's going to be a bit like this. So first of all, let me remove the specific or the static width and make it 100%, so it takes the width of the screen. And then we're going to go to the parent div and we're going to make a padding for it. So from top and bottom 0, but from right and left like 10 pixels. Okay, and that's going to give us this bit of padding. And this is how it's going to look in the smaller screen. Okay, let me just also move these buttons a bit down. So from bottom right here, we're going to make it 0 in the receipt form buttons. Okay, and sometimes I know these fonts like don't exist that much, but they still exist. If you want to take care of them, you can do this. So let me just define or exactly this problem happen for the input. So we can go like this. Okay, let's define breakpoint. So at media, let me define queries first. I always do this. Okay, like this. And that's media, max width, and it's gonna be 350 pixels. And this one, okay, sorry, 350. Okay, and in this one we're gonna take to the we're gonna go to the input, which is gonna be in the receipt form, inside the form, and then the input that we have, and the width is gonna be 300 pixels. Okay. Let's see if it changes. So now if we went to the smallest of screens possible, it's going to be, let me just make it a little bit smaller, 290. Okay, this is better. This is like screens that don't exist now, but you still gotta take care of them, okay, if you want. And now this is how it's gonna look wrist. So we're gonna make sure that when you go up, for example, this is fine. I think this is look cooler, but when you go like 650, maybe you can just now start to have like a static width for it, okay, because now we have the space. It's not going to be a problem. Okay, so let me just take that, okay, and then go to the max to the minimum width now, okay, which is going to be 650 pixels. And then we're going to go just to receipt form and make the width of it so like 470 pixels, like this. Okay, so now it's going to be static. Let me maximize this and let's try again. So this is how it's going to look. Let me see. I don't think should we make it larger? I don't know exactly. Maybe 570. I think this is better. And now we get smaller. And as you see, it's still fine right here. We still have the padding. The padding is very important. Okay, always add padding. You can't just have elements. It feels irresponsive. Okay, and as you go smaller, yeah, it's still fine. To the smallest of screen that we have right here, it's still fine. Okay, which is rarely this exists. So let's continue. So now let's go back here and define a state. So the state is going to be, let me just go right here, and it's going to be visible. It's going to be set visible. Then it's going to be a use state, and it's going to be in the beginning 0. Okay, so we're going to take this component that we have and we're going to make it inside the component. This receipt form. So let me just cut this, all of it, because we're going to have it like 3 of them more. So it's going to be a bit. So let me just go right here. Let's call this search account, maybe search account.js, an RFC right here, and then return the elements that we just cut from there. Remove that, and also let me just import the rest of the elements right here, or just we can pass them. That's also a thing. Let me just get the imports first. So let me get those. Okay, let me just go up top and add them right here. Also we need the email, the state email, and I think this should be from here. Okay, so let me just import it first. It's gonna be search account, okay, and right here we're just gonna pass, let me see, the email. It's gonna be the email, and also the site email. Okay, also we need to pass the error, and okay, the error, okay, and the link, which is gonna import it from there. Okay, let me just go back here and get it from the props. So we're gonna have email, site email, let me see, also the error. Okay, and we still have the link to import like this. Okay, and now things still the same, and I've done this because we're gonna have few of the components. Okay, now let's create another component, which is gonna be for this one. Okay, this when you click and search by the email and you have an email, this is where we're gonna go to. Okay, so let me just make this only available when visible is 0, so we can see only the other one. So when visible equals 0, then we can see this. Okay, and now it's not gonna be No, it's gonna be shown because it's 0, okay? But we're gonna create a new component. Let's call it receipt or send email. Okay, .js. I'm just trying to come up with names that make you understand where it's AWS. Okay, so RFC like this, and this is send email. I'm gonna go back right here, and let me just go. If the visible is 1, of course there are gonna be other tests, not gonna be just visible, but for now. And then we're gonna call the component, which is gonna be send email like this. Okay, and let me change the visible to 1 so we can see it. And now we can see it. So let's create that. It's not going to be that much work. It's actually pretty similar. So maybe we can just take that, the whole, not the whole, yes, the whole form, and we're just going to get text from it. Okay. So let's copy that, return it right here, but then remove the form. Okay. Also remove this text. Okay. We enter the header, and then let's continue. This find account is going to be receipt your password. So receipt your password. Okay, and then after this we're gonna have a receipt form, and then also a class that's called dynamic height. Okay, and then we're gonna go. Okay, so this is gonna be on top right here. Okay, like that. So let me just remove that div. So we should have just added the class name to it. Okay, so my bad. And then right here we're gonna have a reset grid. Okay, and then inside this we're gonna have reset left. Okay, and then we're gonna have a reset right. So again, right here we need to close the div. Okay, like this. And if I'm sorry if you had like some noises or anything, I'm actually very, very sorry. Just I can't help it. Look, I live in a shitty place and I wish I get out of here sooner. Okay, so let's continue. In the left we're gonna go onto the left, and then we're gonna have reset form text. Okay, this is gonna be form. Let me just get that text, which is going to be this one. Let's copy that, go back right here, and have it here. Okay, and then we're going to have a label, and it's going to go to the email. So right here inside the label we're going to need an input, which is going to be radio button. Okay, and the name doesn't matter, the ID is going to be the, and then also it's going to be checked, and it's going to be read only. Okay, so we can make any changes to it. And then we're going to have a div, it's called label call. And inside this we're gonna have, let me just see, it's gonna be a span that says send code via email, and then another span which is gonna show the email. Okay, we don't have the email right now until we it passes it. For example, now we just have some random email. Okay, email at email. Okay, so this is what we're gonna have. Okay, and then we're gonna go outside of the label, and then outside of this div, which was for the left, and then we're gonna go to the right. So reset right, and then we're gonna have an image, and the image is gonna be for the profile. Now we're logged in, so maybe you can just the image of the user right here, because we are already logged in. So this is going to be the picture of the email, the user. Okay, it's not going to be the one that's logged in. Okay, but for now I'm just going to show you it so you can understand. So let me just maybe pass the user. Also, we're going to need it for sure, the user. Okay, when we send the request to the database and the backend. Okay, so let me just get it right here, and then let me just get it from the props. Okay, and then the source may be the user dot picture. Okay, like this. I repeat, this is not going to be the picture from the users logged in, but it's going to be from the email that you want to send the code to. Okay, and also we're going to have a span that's going to get the email of that user. So let me just copy that like that. Okay, then we're going to have another span that says Facebook user. Okay, so let me just see. I think this is all right now. Also, we need few other things. So let me just get the buttons that we have in the search account. Where is it? This one, this div right here. I'm gonna take that, just go back right here, and then add it right here. Okay, let me just get the link. Okay, let me just see where exactly I'm gonna need to add it. Okay, I feel like this is gonna be, it's gonna be after, because it's gonna be related to that div. So let me just receipt right. Okay, so let me remove that div. Okay, now it's fine. And this is all in the, let me just see, This is all in the reach grid. Okay, that's not gonna create a problem, but for example, let me just take that outside this. Okay, and it's set the same. Okay, for better organization, let me just go now to the size and continue with the size. So let's go before the queries and then reset grid. Okay, let me just see what we have. This is going to be simply display grid and grid templates columns. Okay, in the beginning, in the smaller screen, it's going to be 1. Okay, so just 1, and then we're going to go certain, you know, width of the screen. Then we're going to just make it 2. Okay, in the beginning, it's going to be 1 column. Okay, you're going to see, and then we're just going to have a font size to be 15 pixels, and then we're going to have a color to be var color secondary. Okay, now let's continue. Then we're gonna go to the reset left, and it's always gonna have a padding of 15 pixels. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the reset grid and then go label. Okay, let me just see, where is it? Okay, so this is label. Okay, and then you're gonna select the label. You're gonna select the label like this, and inside this we're gonna have a display flex, and then our line items center. Okay, and then let me see, we can have a gap of 10 pixels, and then cursor pointer padding 5 pixel. Okay, I know this is not the most organized, but this is how I do it. Also, you need a hover to it. Okay, for this one, so let me just go back to the send email, and in the hover, maybe you just in the label can add the class name. Let's call it hover1. Let me see how it's gonna look. Okay, that's all right. So let's continue. Yeah, it's gonna look better, don't worry. And then we're gonna go to the input. So go left, reset left. Okay, I'm sorry, reset left, and then we're gonna go to the label, not the label, sorry, the input, and then the width is gonna be 20 pixel, and the height is gonna be 20 pixel. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the label call, and then it's gonna be display flex, and the beginning is gonna be column. Okay, so it's gonna be this way, and then also we're gonna go to the reset right, and then we're gonna have the image in it. So that's why. So in the reset right, let me go display flex direction is gonna be column. Okay, and then we're gonna have justify content center, and then we're gonna have a line items center, so we center everything, and then we're gonna have in the image, so reset right. Okay, and then select the image. I think we have a problem in the HTML, we're gonna fix it. So the width 80 pixels, the height 80 pixels, and then the border radius is 50. Border radius is gonna be 50%, and then also we're gonna have an object fit to be cover. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the div dynamic height. Okay, and then we're gonna make that to be 30 pixels like this. Okay, let me just go back to the send email. I think let me just go to the smallest of screen to see. So this is how it's gonna look in the smaller screen. Okay, it's gonna be this way, so this is gonna be here. So the height of this element is gonna be changeable. Okay, that's why in the beginning we're gonna make it a lot larger than this. Okay, so this is gonna be, for example, 420. Okay, so we know that it's hold the whole element. Okay, this way, this is what we want. Maybe you can even more, it's just up to you. And then when you go to the smaller screen, this one goes to the right. Okay, that's all what we're trying to do. So this looks nice. So now let's work on changing this on the large screen. So I'm gonna go and use the same breakpoint that we have right here, 650, and then we're just simply gonna go to the reset grid, and then the grid templates columns is gonna be now 2. So repeat 2, which is going to be the same size, so that's where we use 1 FR. Okay, so that's going to be in 650. This is all right for me, this is not a problem. And then right here is going to change to the right. Okay, and also the height, we're going to change it a bit. So I'm going to go to the dynamic height. Okay, like this, and now we can make it, for example, 330 pixels like this. Okay, so this is all to it. Let me just see it in the large screen and the small screen. Okay, so this is actually beautiful. You see, in this course we care about responsiveness because a lot of the users come from the mobile, so you're gonna take care of that. So now let's change the text for these buttons. It's gonna be different than this. So this cancel is gonna be not you, and this is gonna be continue. Okay, And then now we finish with this. We're gonna go and create now this one, which is gonna be exactly the same as the first one. So we're just gonna copy that and then change a few things. Okay, so we're gonna go to the search account and then copy that, and let's call this code verification. Okay, let me check the name, and then inside this change the name like this. Okay, and then let me just give the text. Okay, this is gonna be the text, and also the code verification is gonna be this. Also gonna have a form on all of that. Okay, let me just go. And then this is gonna be code. Okay, so we're gonna pass the code and then sits code like this. So this is gonna be sits code. Okay, and this is gonna be name is gonna be code, and then also the placeholder is gonna be code. Okay, and then this is let me just see what else we can do. This text is going to be continue. Okay, and that's cancel. Now let's go back right here. So let's show that. So the way that we're going to go to the index, let me create another one. This is going to be visible when visible is true, and this is going to be code verification. So let me just go and change this state so we can see it. Okay, like this. So this is how it's going to be, code verification. It looks actually the same, and one thing that we didn't do is the footer for this one, so we can just get the footer in the index itself. We're gonna go after everything, and then right here we're just gonna add the footer. Okay, and the footer is gonna come where from. Let me just see what the name I had for it in the login page. So let's import it. So I'm gonna up top import footer from, let me just see where it is. So we are now in components, so we can go back right here. So it's going to be in the login, and then in the, not the login, this is going to be in the components. So I'm sorry, let's go back 2 times because now in the pages, and then we're going to go to the login and then to the footer. Okay, and then we're going to have the footer right here. Okay, also let's define the code and the sys code that we set to the components, so we didn't have them. So after the email, let's just add it right here. It's going to be code, and this one is going to be sit code like this. Okay, and then let me go back down right here, and this is in the code verification. We didn't send it. Okay, so this is gonna send the code, and it's gonna be the code, and also gonna send the sits code. So it's gonna be also sits code. Then we need to send, this is sit, also we need, oh come on, and this is gonna be the error like this. Okay, now we finish from this, so let's continue.